All right, I'm gonna show you guys how to run an FNA on our Imagyst over here. So we have our slides, and the first thing we need to do is stain them. Some of the doctors are already gonna have this part done for you, others will not. So you wanna give it a good time to let them dry. They seem pretty dry to me, and we're not gonna heat fix it or anything. We're gonna put it right in the stain. So we're gonna use this section, not these. These are for the ears, these are for the growths. And I like to do about a minute a piece in each collar. Okay, once she's all stained, we're gonna take her to the sink and do a good rinse. Obviously the side that doesn't have the sample, you can rinse a little bit stronger. And then the side with the sample, you want to go a little bit lighter. Like that. And then we will put this to the side to dry. To access where like the Imagyst is and all of the information you need, you're gonna go to Chrome and you're gonna go to the Imagyst. So if you invoice it, it's going to automatically come up here with the pet information, and then you just have to confirm that that is correct, which it is, and then we'll hit start over here. It's going to pull up this box, and this is where you're going to put information about the specific growth that we're doing the FNA on. Once our history is put in this box here, we're going to make sure that our Imagyst is turned on and ready. We're going to move all of these things out of the way because she needs to have room to do her little dance. Okay, once the history is put in, you're gonna hit add lesion or fluid. We're gonna do lesion for this one. Lesion type is usually always gonna be an FNA, and then the region, we're gonna say exactly where it is. And we're gonna create that. And then from here, we're gonna go to add a scan. It's gonna find our little scanner, which is available, and then we're gonna hit open tray. And once we open it, it's gonna come over here and it's gonna be ready for the slide. So once they are good and dry, we're gonna take a lens paper, and I just like to wipe the back of the slide just to make sure that the Imagyst is gonna be able to like really see it. I also like to take the other side and wipe off the actual Imagyst as well, just to make sure that it can see what it needs to see. And then from here, we're gonna put a drop of immersion oil, and then we're gonna put a cover slip on the slide. So it's very specific cover slips that we wanna make sure that we're using. They're over here. They're big enough to cover the entire slide. So it makes it easier. You don't have to do multiple of the small ones that we typically use. And I'll do a drop right on the sample. And then we'll get our cover slip. Of course, you wanna make sure you only have one on there. Can be deceiving sometimes. It's just one, and we're gonna put it right on our slide. Once this is all good to go, we're gonna get it on the Imagyst. So there is a little piece at the bottom here that you can use to open and close it. So we're gonna lay that down, and we're gonna flip our switch to lock it in place. Okay, so from there we're gonna come back over to the computer, and we're gonna hit preview. You can see the Imagyst is going to find our sample, and then it's going to come back up on the computer, which I will show you. Okay, so you can see it selected this area, which is exactly where our sample is, which is good, but it also seemed to have selected this area. So if it selects an area that you don't really want, you're just going to click on this and you're going to trash it. But it's going to remain with this one. So if we're happy with it, we can edit it if we need to, but this is the main portion of our sample, so I'm going to leave it just as it is, and I'm going to hit continue. And now it's going to scan that. It's going to come up with a time frame. It's kind of rough. It's not always exactly that time. So it said it was going to be about 3 minutes. You can see that it's scanning right now, so we're just going to leave this until it's done. So it says about 8 minutes. Like I said, originally it said 3 minutes. Like I said, it's already going down. It probably won't take this full amount of time. Okay, so once it's done scanning, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna say 100%, so then we're gonna hit close. We're gonna come back over to our scanner, and we're gonna take our slide off by flipping the switch and grabbing our slide. And now we can replace it with our other side. Usually there's about 2 per growth, and then we're gonna lock that in place. And then we're gonna come back over here. We're gonna hit where it says scan, and we're gonna say preview again. So it's going to start another one, and the whole process is just going to restart from there. Okay, so once it did its scan, this is what it recognized. So once again, we're going to click over here. We're going to erase that. That's where her name was. And then we can leave these two. These two look fine. Honestly, we probably would get away with just doing this big one right here, but because it's selected that, we're gonna leave that as well. And then we're gonna hit continue, and it's gonna start scanning. Okay, so once they're both 100% of the way done scanning, we're gonna come down here and we're gonna hit close. You can see there's 2 scans there, so all that's left to do is submit it. So we're gonna submit our order. And then you can see right here, it says submitted. It's gonna stay in pending. Once it's done, it's gonna come over to ready for review. So we're just gonna wait and continue to check that throughout the day. Also, once we're finished, it's all submitted. You can see that it's still open. So if you go over here, you hit these 3 lines up in the right-hand corner and you go to scanners. If you hit the remote control, you have this option to close tray. So we'll hit that and it'll close it for us, and then we can put the top back on to keep it protected.